My beloved child, I heard you. Even before your lips whispered the prayer, even before your heart could form the words, I heard the cry of your soul. I know you've been wondering if I'm really listening. It feels like you're sending your prayers into the void, like they rise into the sky only to dissolve into silence. You've sat quietly, hands folded, heart wide open, waiting, hoping. But instead of answers, you've often been met with more silence. And in that silence, doubt has crept in like a cold wind. You've asked, God, where are you? Let me answer you now. I am here. I've never left your side, not for a second. I have not ignored your cries. I have collected each one. They are not lost in the ether. They are etched in eternity, held close to my heart. You see, my child, sometimes the silence isn't a punishment. It's not indifference. Sometimes the silence is a preparation. It's the quiet before the breakthrough, the stillness before the miracle. You're walking through stormy seas and the waves have gotten high. The winds are fierce, and it feels like you're rowing with broken oars. But even in this, especially in this, I am with you. I'm not pacing somewhere far off in heaven trying to figure out how to help you. I am in the storm with you. I'm the one holding the boat together when everything tries to pull it apart. I'm the strength in your arms when you keep rowing even though you want to stop. I'm the whisper that says, one more step, don't give up. Your faith is not small because you ask where I am. Your question, don't offend me. I made you. I understand your heart. I know the ache of longing, the weariness of waiting. Do you remember the story of my son sleeping in the boat while the storm raged? The disciples thought I didn't care. But oh child, I was in control the whole time. And with one word, I calmed the sea. In your life too, I can speak peace into chaos. But sometimes I let the storm last a little longer. Not to break you, but to build something in you that cannot be built in calm. I'm not trying to teach you to perform. I'm teaching you to trust. Because what I have for you is not just relief. It's restoration. I don't just want to remove the storm. I want to make you stronger than the storm. You've been asking for rescue. But what if I'm preparing you for authority? What if this very storm is making you into the kind of person who will one day pull others from the sea? That's how deeply I believe in you. And even now, in your quiet pain, I'm working behind the scenes, beneath the surface. My timing is never random. When it looks like nothing is happening, that's often when everything is happening. There is a version of you that's already walking in peace, already living in joy, already free. And I'm leading you there step by step. So if today feels like a mess, if it seems like I'm silent, just remember this. I'm not ignoring you. I'm carrying you. You don't need to do anything to earn my attention. You already have it. You don't need to say the perfect prayer. Your tears say more than your words ever could. I see them. I treasure them. I turn them into healing. You are not forgotten. You are not lost. You are not too broken to be held. You are mine. Even now, even in this, I am working all things for your good. Breathe, child. The storm will pass, but the strength I build in you that will last forever. If these words speak to your heart, leave a comment below and simply write, Amen. Let them be your anchor today. My beloved child, I see that your steps have been heavy lately, not because you lack faith, but because you've been carrying so many unknowns. You rise in the morning, searching for signs. You lay down at night hoping for answers, but all you hear is silence. I know what you're asking deep in your heart. God, where are you in all this uncertainty? Why can't I see where you're taking me? Am I doing something wrong? No, child. You are not lost. You are not being punished. You are being led. It might not feel like that, because in the human way of thinking, being led often means clarity, direction, and visible progress. But in my way, being led sometimes looks like moving forward without a map, stepping out into the fog, and learning to trust the one who sees it 11 when you can't. You've been taught to rely on logic, on timelines, on 5-year plans and clear instructions. But I am not bound by those systems. I move through time and space with infinite wisdom. And sometimes the most powerful thing I can give you is not the full picture, but a single step of obedience. Because you see, if I gave you the entire plan, you might be overwhelmed. You might become afraid and shrink back. Or you might try to take control and do it all your way, without me. And in doing so, you would miss the very essence of the journey. Communion with me. You've said, Lord, just tell me what to do. But I'm not looking for your performance. I'm not after your efficiency. I'm after your heart. I want to walk with you, not just hand you a map. Because in the walking together, in the not knowing and still trusting, you learn something sacred. That my presence is better than the destination. That my voice is sweeter than the answer. That my heart is the true home you've been looking for. You've looked around at others who seem to have it all figured out. They move fast. They're confident. They appear to know their purpose and execute it perfectly. But child, I want you to know something very important. Not all movement is progress. Not all speed is wisdom. Not all clarity is divine. Sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is pause. Sometimes the holiest act is waiting. Sometimes the deepest faith is found in the words, I don't know what's next, but I know who goes with me. I have never abandoned you. Not in the silence. Not in the stillness. Not in the shadows. Even when you don't feel me, I'm closer than your breath. Even when you don't hear me, I'm speaking through signs you haven't noticed yet. Even when you don't see a path forward, I am carving one beneath your feet. Every time you've taken a step in faith when it made no sense, when your fear was louder than your courage, when your legs shook and your voice trembled, I've smiled over you with pride. That's the kind of faith that moves mountains. That's the kind of trust that brings heaven down to earth. And even when you made wrong turns, yes, even then I did not leave you. I didn't throw away your purpose or cancel your calling. I simply rerouted you with grace. What man sees as detours, I see as divine delays. What you thought was rejection was my redirection. What you thought was failure was me writing a better chapter than you could have imagined. And here's something else you need to hear. You don't have to earn your next step. You don't have to prove yourself worthy of direction. You are not waiting for me to approve your performance. You are already mine, already loved, already chosen. And because of that, I will guide you even when you're unsure, even when you doubt, even when your faith feels like a flickering candle in the wind. My guidance is not fragile. It's not dependent on your perfection. It flows from my heart, constant, steadfast, and faithful. So if all you see right now is fog, if all you know is that you're meant to keep going but you're not sure where, rest in this truth. I go before you, I stand behind you, and I walk beside you. You are not expected to run in this season. You are only asked to walk with me, one step at a time, one prayer at a time, one quiet yes at a time. And as you walk, watch how I begin to reveal what's been hidden. Watch how I bring connections that feel divine. Watch how I align timing, resources, and relationships in ways you never could on your own. Because when I guide, I also provide. You will not arrive at your calling empty-handed. You will not stumble into your destiny unprepared. I am shaping you now in this sacred waiting. So do not despise the fog. It's a mercy in disguise. It keeps you close to me. And when the clouds part, because they will, you will realize that the most beautiful part of this journey wasn't the clarity at the end, but the closeness we shared in the middle. If your soul needed this reminder today, gently write in the comments, "I trust you, even when I can't see the way." Let it be your whispered prayer and your anchor in the unknown. My beloved child, you've been carrying so much lately, and I know you try to make it look easy. You wake up each morning, place your feet on the floor, and begin the day as if the world isn't resting on your shoulders. You smile, you give, you serve. And yet, deep down, you're exhausted. I see it. I see the way you hide your weariness behind routines. I see the way your heart sinks when no one notices how hard you're trying. I see the sighs you release when you think no one's listening. But I am. I always am. You were never meant to carry this weight alone. There is a heaviness in your soul that didn't come from me. You've taken on burdens that were never yours to bear. Expectations, fears, regret. The need to be everything for everyone. The pressure to always be strong, even when you're breaking. And child, hear me now. You are allowed to set those things down. I didn't call you to a life of burnout. I called you to peace. I didn't ask you to wear yourself thin, proving your worth. I gave you worth when I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you ever did anything, I looked at you and said, "This one is mine." Do you remember what I said in my word? "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That wasn't a poetic suggestion. It was a personal invitation. To you, right now, come. Come with your tired eyes and aching back. Come with your wounded heart and unanswered questions. Come with the guilt you've held onto for years. Come with the shame you've hidden behind polite smiles. Come with the belief that you always have to be the strong one. I never asked you to be perfect. I only asked you to be real with me. You've been told by this world that rest is weakness, that slowing down means falling behind, that needing help means you're not enough. But my truth says otherwise. My truth says your strength is found in surrender, that your worth isn't in what you produce but in who you are, my child. That you were created not just to survive, but to breathe deep, to laugh freely, to live abundantly. I know the burdens you carry, the family you worry about, the bills that keep stacking up, the health issue you haven't told anyone about, the way you wake up at 3 a.m. and stare at the ceiling, rehearsing worst-case scenarios in your mind. And you wonder, does God care about these small things? Let me answer with all the fullness of heaven. Yes, yes, I care. I care about every fear, every tear, every weight you can't name. You don't have to pretend with me. You don't have to be strong for me. I am your strength. Remember when a child falls and scrapes their knee? They run to their parent, not because they expect an explanation, but because they want to be held. I am your father. Run to me. Let me hold you. Let me carry the parts you can no longer carry. Cast your cares upon me, no in theory, but in practice. Talk to me about the things that feel too small. Nothing is too small for the one who knows the number of hairs on your head. You weren't created to be everyone's answer. You weren't created to solve every problem. You weren't created to hold everything together. You were created to be loved, to walk with me, to breathe in my grace daily. So release it now. Release the fear that says, if I stop, everything will fall apart. Release the guilt that whispers, I should be doing more. End of 2. Release the lie that tells you rest must be earned. Child, you don't rest because you've done enough. You rest because I am enough. You rest because I hold the world, not you. You rest because the outcome does not depend on your striving. You rest because your soul was not made for constant tension. Let your shoulders relax. Let your chest soften. Let your hands open. I'm not asking you to give me polished prayers. Just give me what you have, even if it's tired, Even if it's scared, even if it's messy, I can work with honest. I can work with surrendered. I can hold what you release. You've been fighting so hard, trying to be the provider, the protector, the peacemaker, but I already am all those things for you. Let me remind you, I am your provider, Jehovah Yireh. I am your defender, your shield and fortress. I am your peace, shalom, wholeness, calm in the storm. You don't have to do this alone. Even if no one around you sees the weight you carry, I do. And I am strong enough to carry it all. So today, will you let me? Will you lay down what you were never meant to lift? Take a deep breath. That heaviness you feel, it's not your identity. You are not the burden you carry. You are not the problem you haven't solved. You are not the fear that follows you. You are mine, beloved, chosen, held, and you don't have to carry this alone note ever again. If your heart feels lighter after reading this, write, "I release it into your hands, God," in the comments below. Let it be your holy surrender, your soft exhale, your sacred beginning. My beloved child, you've been staring at the pieces, haven't you? The shattered parts of something you once cherished. Maybe it was a relationship. Maybe it was a dream. Maybe it was the version of yourself you thought you'd be by now. And now, as you look at the ruins, you wonder, can this ever be whole again? Will I ever feel peace again? God, is this the end of the story? Let me speak gently to your soul. No, child, this is not the end. This is the beginning of something sacred. I know how it broke. I saw the moment the disappointment landed, like an earthquake inside your heart. I saw the exact second you realized things wouldn't go the way you prayed for. I felt the crack, the invisible one, when your voice whispered, "Why?" through clenched teeth, and I did not look away. You see, I don't only draw near in praise and joy, I draw even closer in grief. I collect the tears you cry when no one else notices. I sit beside you in the quiet when the world feels loud and you just want to be still. And I rebuild patiently, tenderly, beautifully. What feels lost to you is never lost to me. You may think everything has fallen apart, but I want you to know some things had to fall so I could rebuild them rightly. You've been holding on to things that weren't meant to go with you into the next chapter, a version of yourself that was tied to fear, a relationship built on approval instead of love, a dream that was too small for your soul's true calling. I allowed certain structures to crumble, not to harm you, but to set you free. You see, I'm not in the business of patchwork. I don't put band-aids over broken hearts. I do full resurrections. I rebuild from the foundation, not because I enjoy watching you suffer, but because I want you to stand on something that will last. And child, the rebuilding is already happening, even if you can't see it, even if all you see right now is dust, even if you still feel the ache. Sometimes healing feels like emptiness first. Sometimes you have to clear the room before I bring in something new. Sometimes the space you feel in your chest isn't lost, its preparation. So don't fear the silence. Don't fear the season that feels barren. This is the soil in which new life begins. And I, your creator, am the gardener. Let me remind you of my nature. I bring water to deserts. I cause dead bones to rise. I turn mourning into dancing. I give beauty for ashes. That is not poetry, it's a promise. You thought the dream was over. You thought your heart couldn't possibly mend. You thought joy was something reserved for others. But I am the God who specializes in the impossible. The pieces you thought were useless, I'm using them. The pain you thought was wasted, I'm weaving it into purpose. The tears you tried to hide, they are softening the soil for your harvest. And you don't have to rebuild on your own. This time, I'm doing it with you in you, brick by brick, word by word, breath by breath. I am rewriting your story in the very places it felt erased. The chapter you're in now may feel unfamiliar. It might not have the music you used to dance to. It might not have the faces you used to depend on. But child, what if I'm making room for something more sacred? You've begged me to bring back the old. But what if the new I'm creating is beyond what you've known before? Not because the past was bad, but because I'm doing something greater. Sometimes I withhold because I'm protecting. Sometimes I delay because I'm preparing. Sometimes I allow the breaking so you can receive unshakable healing. I know it's painful. I never promised a life without pain, but I did promise you this. I will never leave you. I will never waste your suffering. I will never forget your faithfulness in the middle of the rubble. Even when all you had was one word, help, I heard you. Even when your hope was dim, it was still enough. Even when you almost let go, I held you tighter. You are not starting over from nothing. You are starting over with me, and I am more than enough. So take this day gently. You don't need to rush the healing. You don't need to prove you're okay. Let yourself grieve. Let yourself be tender. Let yourself hope again slowly, quietly, deeply. The cracks you see are not signs of failure. They are how the light gets in. They are how my glory will shine through you. Not despite your brokenness, but because of it. I'm not ashamed of your ruins. I call them sacred ground. And one day you will look back and say, that was the season I thought everything ended, but it was really where everything began. If your heart feels like it's rising from the ashes, leave a comment that says, God is rebuilding me. Let it be your sacred agreement with the one who makes all things new. My beloved child, there's something you've been wondering for a long time. A quiet ache in your soul that whispers in the silence, does my prayer even matter? Has God forgotten what I asked for? Why do I feel like heaven is quiet when I need answers the most? Let me answer you with clarity and compassion. No, your prayers are not in vain. Not one has been ignored. Not one has been discarded. Not one has disappeared into nothingness. Even the prayers you forgot you prayed, I have remembered. You see, child, I am not like people. I do not get distracted. I do not delay out of negligence. I do not misplace what is sacred. I collect every word that rises from your heart. I see every tear that falls with your amen. I record them, not in some cold ledger, but in a book that bears your name, written in love, guarded with mercy. I know it's hard to believe when you've prayed for years and the door stays closed. When you've fasted, pleaded, declared, and yet the illness remains. The marriage cracks deeper, the finances tighten, the silence deepens. But child, I need you to understand something that may change the way you see me. I do not operate on your clock. I am never late, though. I often arrive at the last moment your faith will allow, not to test you cruelly, but to grow something in you that time cannot steal. Trust. You've asked for quick fixes, but I'm forming eternal roots. You've asked for escape, but I'm building resilience. You've asked for things to change, and I'm answering by first changing you. Because what I have for you isn't just relief. It's deep healing. It's transformation. It's the kind of breakthrough that not only touches your life, but spills into generations after you. I know. It's not what you wanted to hear. You wanted now. You wanted yes, wrapped in certainty. You wanted the mountain to move the moment you prayed. And I could have done that. I could have made the phone ring. I could have opened that job. I could have restored that person. But I saw what you could not. I saw how waiting would refine your voice, how delay would teach you compassion, how the process would teach you to depend not on the gift, but on the giver. Child, hear me in this. A delay is not a denial. A closed door is not rejection. Sometimes, the very thing you call unanswered prayer is me saying, not this way, Not this time. I have something better. I've seen you pray with trembling hands, with tired hope, with aching disappointment buried just beneath your words. You thought I didn't notice, but I leaned in closer. Even the sighs you didn't say out loud, I heard those too. Sometimes I answer prayers in ways you don't recognize. A person walks into your life. A habit suddenly breaks. A strength appears where fear used to live. And you think, where did that come from? It came from the prayers you whispered in desperation. It came from the nights you stayed awake pleading for change. It came from the moments you chose faith over fear, even when no one else knew. I never forget a seed planted in faith. And every prayer is a seed. Some blossom quickly. Some take time. Some grow roots so deep that even the winds of adversity can't uproot them. And child, those are the ones I often choose for you. I'm not slow to answer. I'm careful. I'm intentional. I'm writing a story that's not just good for you, but good through you. And when the answer finally arrives, whether it's a yes, a no, or a redirection, you'll see that it was never about the thing you asked for. It was always about becoming who you were created to be. That's why I keep working in the dark. That's why I keep moving in silence. That's why, even when you feel forgotten, you are being formed. Let me show you something else. Sometimes the answer to your prayer isn't what changes, but who you become while you wait. You've become more patient, more forgiving, more gentle, more discerning, more surrendered. And all of that, that's me shaping you from the inside out. That's the work no one sees but heaven celebrates. So today, don't stop praying. Don't give up because it's been long. Don't believe the lie that says it's useless. You are not talking to an empty sky. You are speaking to the one who made the sky. And I always listen. Even though, yes, right now, I am responding in ways you don't yet see. I'm aligning moments, people, miracles. I'm protecting you from things you didn't know to avoid. I'm preparing blessings that are still wrapped in mystery. And soon, sooner than you think, you will look back on this season and say, oh, that's what you were doing. And you will smile with tears in your eyes, not just because the prayer was answered, but because you were changed. If these words meet you in the waiting, write, I believe my prayers still matter, in the comments. Let it be your quiet act of faith and your loud declaration to the heavens. My beloved child, you've been wondering why you can't feel me. You've whispered in the darkness, God, where are you? Not in anger, not even in rebellion, but in deep, quiet sadness. You've read about my love. You've heard people say I'm near. You've tried to pray, tried to worship, tried to believe, but inside it feels empty. I know that feeling intimately. The ache of reaching for a hand you can't quite grasp. The loneliness that sits in the soul like fog, thick and unmoving. But child, listen closely now. Just because you don't feel me doesn't mean I'm not there. Your emotions are real, but they are not always true. Your feelings are valid, but they are not the final authority. My presence is not a mood. It is not a fleeting sensation. It is not something you have to earn or stir up. It is a promise, a truth, a covenant sealed by my love. I am with you always. Not just when you're full of faith. Not just when you're singing. Not just when the goosebumps come during worship. But even now, especially now, when your prayers feel hollow, when your faith feels thin, when your arms hang limp at your side because you don't know what else to do, I am there. I've been in the silence with you, in the stillness, in the nights you stare at the ceiling, not asking for miracles anymore, just asking not to feel so alone. And though your body couldn't perceive me, your spirit still recognized my nearness. Do you remember that moment you didn't fall apart even though everything inside you was breaking? That was me, holding you together when you thought you couldn't take one more step. Or that day you woke up and something felt a little lighter. That was me too. Lifting the weight, if only for a moment, just so you could breathe. And those tears you cried quietly, thinking no one would understand. I understood. Each one. I caught them not as waste, but as worship. You've been conditioned to believe that if you can't feel me, something is wrong. But child, some of the most powerful moments in your life are happening beneath the surface. Roots grow in darkness. Diamonds are formed under pressure. Faith is refined in the fire of silence. You may think nothing's happening in your heart, but I am working there right now, rearranging pieces, healing old wounds, expanding your spirit to carry more of me. Sometimes I hide my presence not to punish you, but to draw you into a deeper awareness, to invite you into a kind of faith that is not built on emotion, but on truth. I want your love for me to grow beyond feelings. I want it to grow into trust. The kind of trust that says, even if I don't feel you, I will still follow you. Even if you are silent, I believe you are still speaking. Even in the void, I will still worship. That's not blind faith. That's intimate faith. That's the kind of faith that moves me. Do you remember my son? Even Jesus, my perfect, beloved son, felt abandoned in his final moments. He cried out, "My God, why have you forsaken me?" And yet, I had not left him, not for a second. And I haven't left you. Not now. Not ever. There are some lessons I can only teach you in the dark. Not because I want to hurt you, but because I want to strengthen you, so that when you emerge, you won't just have a testimony of survival, you'll have a revelation of my heart. The silence will not last forever. This numbness will not define you. This fog will lift, and when it does, you'll find me standing exactly where I've always been, right beside you. You don't have to pretend in this season. You don't have to perform. Just be. Just sit with me, even in the quiet, even in the tears, even in the questions. Let me love you through it. Let me be enough for you, even when I seem invisible. Because my love isn't proven by your sensations, it's proven by the cross, by the blood poured out, by the eternal promise sealed before you were ever born. You belong to me. You are safe with me. You are never alone. I am here in the whisper, here in the waiting, here in the moments you think don't matter. I am not the God of appearances. I am the God of essence. And my essence is this: I will never leave you, nor forsake you. So hold on, child. Don't let your feelings write the story. Let your faith rise even if it's just a whisper. Because sometimes the deepest worship comes from the quietest soul. And you right now, in this very moment, are worshiping me more than you know. If you feel unseen but choose to believe anyway, write, "God is with me even here," in the comments. Let it be your sacred reminder that you are never, ever abandoned. My beloved child, you've been asking why the journey has been so long, why the path winds instead of running straight, why the things that seem so certain suddenly feel so far out of reach. You've wondered, more than once, if you somehow missed your moment, if you made too many mistakes, if you lost too much time, if you're behind. But let me tell you what I see. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not less than. You are becoming. Becoming what, you ask? Becoming who I always saw. You see yourself through the lens of your present struggle, but I see you through the lens of eternal promise. You see the you who stumbles. I see the you who rises. You see the you who doubts. I see the you who dares to keep going. You see the version of yourself wrapped in wounds, but I see the warrior being shaped within. When I formed you, I placed a divine imprint inside you, a whisper of heaven's design, a spark of my own breath. And no amount of hardship, failure, shame, or delay can erase what I've placed within you. Child, the pressure you feel right now is not punishment. It's shaping. It's the forming of someone who doesn't just survive but shines. Someone who doesn't just talk of Mayboot walks with me. Someone who has been through fire and still chooses faith. You want to become strong? You are becoming. You want to become wise? You are becoming. You want to become peaceful, purposeful, whole? You are becoming. And it's not happening in grand public displays. It's happening in quiet choices. In the moments you choose truth over fear, kindness over anger, hope over despair. It's in the tears you wipe from your own eyes and keep loving anyway. In the hours no one sees, but heaven records. You may not notice it, but the shift is already underway. I'm peeling back layers of pain, fear, and limitation, not to expose you, but to free you. You were never meant to live behind the walls life made you build. That self-protection you wear like armor, lay it down. That shame you carry like a badge, it was never from me. That lie that says you're too damaged, too late, too tired, break it in my name. Because the real you, the true you, isn't broken. She's rising. He's awakening. And I want to show you what I see when I look at you. I see the child who's still tender, still open to wonder, still hoping, even if only in whispers. I see the light you carry, even when the world tells you to dim it. I see the fire in your soul that trials have not extinguished. I see your quiet courage, the kind that doesn't roar but refuses to quit. You are not who the world says you are. You are not your job, your failures, your past. You are not the labels others gave you when they didn't understand your heart. You are my masterpiece, my poetry in motion, my image bearer, my beloved. And yes, becoming takes time. I never meant for it to be rushed. Just as trees take years to root deep and rise tall, so does the soul grow in the rhythms of grace. There is no competition here, no race to win, just a path uniquely yours, led by my hand and paced by my love. I know you want to arrive. You want to feel whole, finished, there. But child, this moment, this becoming is just as sacred as the destination. The becoming is where you learn to hear my voice, where you discover what peace really feels like, where you release what no longer serves your spirit, where you awaken to the truth that I've been singing over you all along. You are enough because I am enough in you. This is the holy work. Becoming who you were always meant to be. Not someone new, but someone free. So don't fear the in-between. Don't rush to get it together. Let me walk with you in the unfolding. Let me remind you that slow growth is still growth. That rest is still progress. That becoming is not about perfection. It's about presence. And I am fully present with you. Even when you feel stuck, I'm still moving. Even when you feel small, I'm still mighty in you. Even when you feel lost, I'm still guiding. You are not lost in the process. You are being revealed. And the world hasn't seen the fullness of who you are yet. But I have, and I'm not in a hurry. So take heart, dear one. Take joy in the slow bloom. Take courage in the days when it feels like nothing's changing. Because something is. In you, around you, through you. Becoming takes time, but I promise it's worth it. If this message speaks to your becoming, write in the comments, God, help me see what you see in me. Let it be your prayer of remembrance and your sacred yes to the journey. My beloved child, you've come so far farther than you realize. And yet, I know there are days when you feel like you're still in the same place. Days when you ask, will I ever get there? Will I ever see the fruit of all this struggle? Will my story have a purpose? Let me assure you, yes. 1,000 times, yes. I am not just the author of your story. I am also the finisher. I do not abandon my work halfway through. I do not grow weary. I do not get distracted. I do not walk away when things take time. What I started in you, I will complete. Not maybe, not hopefully. I will. Even if it takes longer than you expected. Even if you've stumbled 1,000 times. Even if you no longer believe in yourself. You still do. You think you've messed up too much. You think you've delayed the promise. But my plans are never so fragile that your humanness can destroy them. He accounted for your detours. I foresaw your doubts. I included your valleys in the blueprint. And still I chose you. This is not the end. This is just a pause in the song. And I am still conducting the melody. Yes, the tempo may have slowed. Yes, some notes may sound minor, even painful. But wait, listen closely. There's still music playing. And soon, the swell will come. The crescendo. The breakthrough. The chapter where beauty unfolds from the ashes. You don't have to force it. You don't have to rush it. You only have to stay with me. When you think it's over, I say it's beginning. When you think you're finished, I say, now watch what I will do. Because I'm not done writing redemption into every line of your story. Child, you may be tired of waiting, but I'm not tired of loving you. You may feel worn out, but I'm still filled with joy over you. You may feel like you failed, but I call you faithful because you haven't given up. And that's what matters. You're still here, still showing up, still whispering prayers, still reaching for me. That's enough. You don't need a perfect record. You just need a willing heart. And you have that even on the days you feel weak. Especially then. Do you remember what I promised? That he who began a good work in you will carry it on to completion. That wasn't written as a poetic hope. It was a holy declaration. I am invested in you. I am committed to your growth. I am passionate about your freedom. And I will not stop until you see with your own eyes what I've always seen in you. One day you'll look back and say, every tear was used. Every delay had purpose. Every silent prayer was heard, and God was faithful through it all. You'll see how the dots connected, how the pain wasn't wasted, how the loneliness led to deep intimacy, how the questions carved room for wisdom, how the waiting built roots. So today, trust this. You are not unfinished. You are unfolding. You are not stuck. You are being steadied. You are not forgotten. You are being formed. And I am still here, still holding you, still leading, still loving, still building what you can't yet see. I will finish what I started, not because you are flawless, but because my grace is, not because you never fall, but because I always catch, not because you always know the way, but because I am the way. So rest in this, child. You can breathe now. The pressure is not on you to figure it all out. Your job is to follow. Mine is to complete. You don't have to carry the outcome. You only have to carry your yes. And you've already said yes. Through your tears, through your worship, through your rising again and again. That's all I needed. And now I will take it from here. So keep walking, keep hoping, keep becoming. I'm with you every step. And when you reach the finish line of this chapter, I'll be the one standing there smiling, arms open, whispering, I told you I'd finish what I started, because I always do. If you believe God is not finished with you, write in the comments, finish what you started in me, Lord. Let it be your declaration of trust and your final amen in this sacred conversation. My beloved child, I know how much you want to feel whole again. You've been asking, Why is it taking so long to heal? You've forgiven. You've prayed. You've let go. And still, there are days when the same old pain returns. A memory, a thought, a wound you thought was already closed. You ask yourself, shouldn't I be over this by now? Why does it still hurt? Is there something wrong with me? Let me answer you tenderly. No, there is nothing wrong with you. There is something deep in you, something precious, and I am healing it layer by layer. You see, true healing isn't instant, not the kind I desire for you. I don't want surface repairs. I want restoration so deep it touches every cell of your being. Not just behavior change, but heart change. Not just forgetting the pain, but finding freedom within it. And that kind of healing takes time, takes space, takes layers. There are things you buried so deeply you forgot they existed. Lies you believed for so long they began to sound like truth. Emotions you tucked away in the name of survival. Walls you built because no one showed you what safety looked like. But I am not afraid of the dark corners in your soul. I made your soul, and I am not impatient with its process. You don't need to rush to feel better. You only need to be open to feel honestly. Sometimes the ache that resurfaces is not a setback, it's an invitation. An invitation to go deeper, to sit with me in the silence, to let me walk with you into the places you once avoided. I will not shame you for your wounds. I will not be disappointed by your fragility. In fact, I treasure it, because when you open those tender spaces, you are giving me the most sacred access, and I will never misuse that. I know how to handle your pain. I know how to touch what still stings without making it worse. I know how to hold your sorrow without rushing it away. Because I am not just your healer, I am your father, and I want wholeness for you, not just relief. That's why I return to the same wounds gently. Not to hurt you again, but to heal what the first layer of comfort could not reach. What you felt in the past wasn't fake. It was real. But there's more. Deeper levels of peace, deeper levels of release, deeper levels of self-compassion and clarity. Let me take you there. You don't have to fear what will surface. Whatever comes up, I can handle it. You don't need to manage it all or understand it perfectly. You just need to stay close. I promise if I bring it to light, it's because I'm ready to heal it. You don't have to dig around looking for brokenness. Just be present. Just be honest, and I will do the rest. Child, you are not broken beyond repair. You are not too complicated. You are not too slow in your healing. You are exactly where you need to be. And every time you say, I still feel it, I say, then we still walk together. This is not a race. This is a relationship. I don't need you to be finished. I need you to be with me. And as we go deeper, you'll begin to see parts of yourself you've forgotten. Your softness, your joy, your innocence, your laughter, your hope. They've been waiting beneath the hurt, and I'm bringing them back to life. So don't be afraid of the process. Trust me with the layers. Every layer reveals more of the truth. And the truth is this: you are being made whole. If this touched a tender place in your soul, comment below, God, heal me in every layer. Let this be your gentle surrender and your daily yes to healing. My beloved child, you've been wondering, have I changed my mind about you? You haven't said it out loud, but it's been sitting quietly in the back of your thoughts. After all the mistakes, after all the drifting, after all the times you didn't pray, didn't believe, didn't feel strong, you've begun to wonder if you still qualify for my promises. Maybe you've whispered to yourself, maybe I missed my chance. Maybe I disappointed God too much. Maybe I've just gone too far this time. Let me speak into that right now, clearly, firmly, and lovingly. No, I have not changed my mind about you. I haven't reconsidered your calling. I haven't downgraded your purpose. I haven't withdrawn the dreams I planted inside you. You may have walked away from me, but I've never walked away from you. My love for you is not fragile. It does not evaporate in failure. It does not dissolve in doubt. It does not retreat in rebellion. I knew who you were when I chose you. Every chapter, every weakness, every detour, I knew it all, and still I said yes. You don't need to earn your way back into my arms. You were never cast out to begin with. I saw the moment your heart broke and you thought you'd never recover. I saw the decisions you made when you were just trying to cope. I saw the bitterness that crept in while you were waiting for answers that never came. And still, I called you mine. You are not disqualified. You are not disowned. You are not forgotten. You may feel far, but feelings are not facts. The truth is, I'm still right here, still holding space for you, still whispering reminders of who you are, still surrounding you with mercies that are new every morning. You thought I was disappointed in you, but child, disappointment is the emotion of unmet expectations, and I've never expected perfection from you. I've only ever wanted your heart. And even when it's broken, even when it's confused, even when it's distant, if you give it to me, that's more than enough. I don't look at you and see a mistake. I look at you and see potential. I see a story still unfolding. I see resilience born from your lowest valleys. I see compassion carved out by your pain. I see a testimony in the making. You think your failures have defined you, but I define you, and I call you redeemed. I call you chosen. I call you worthy not because of what you've done, but because of what I've already done for you. Nothing you've said has shocked me. Nothing you've done has made me give up. Nothing you feel disqualifies you from the love I poured out on the cross. You don't need to clean yourself up to come back. You don't need the right words. You don't need to feel worthy. You just need to come. Come with your questions. Come with your anger. Come with your guilt. Come with your silence. Come with your numbness. Come with your longing. I can hold all of it. I don't want a perfect version of you. I want the real you. The version that's tired of pretending. The version that's quietly hoping grace is still available. It is. Grace hasn't expired. Mercy hasn't run dry. My love hasn't given up. My spirit hasn't left you. My voice hasn't stopped calling. You are still my child. Still my beloved. Still the one I sing over in the night. Still the one I defend when shame accuses you. Still the one I believe in even when you've stopped believing in yourself. So stop punishing yourself. Stop replaying your past like it's your future. Stop running from the one who already ran to you. There is still time. There is still purpose. There is still beauty to be born from the ashes. Your story is not over, and I'm not finished with you. Let today be the turning point. Not a day of guilt, but a day of return. Return to the truth. Return to peace. Return to me. I have not changed my mind, and I never will. If these words reminded you of who you truly are, write in the comments. Thank you for never giving up on me, God. Let it be your sacred return and the first page of a new chapter. My beloved child, you've been through so much. You've climbed mountains of disappointment, walked valleys of loneliness, stood in storms you didn't think you'd survive. You've wept in silence, searched for answers that didn't come quickly, and waited longer than you thought your heart could bear. But look at you. You're still here, still breathing, still hoping, still whispering prayers, even if your voice shakes. And I want you to know this. This is not the end. It might feel like an ending, a chapter closing, a door slamming shut. But child, I write stories differently. With me, the end of something is always the beginning of something more. I know the loss has been heavy. The goodbyes, the changes, the dreams that didn't unfold the way you pictured them. And it's okay to grieve what's gone, to sit in the silence where joy once lived, to honor the space between what was and what is becoming. But I am not a God of endings. I am a God of resurrection. Where the world says, "This is over," I say, "Watch what I do next." Where people say, "That can't be fixed," I say, "Let me redeem it." And where fear says, "You've failed too many times," I whisper, "I still have plans for you. The seeds I planted in you, they are still alive, even if the soil has been cold, even if the rain hasn't come, even if you've forgotten how to believe in growth. I haven't forgotten. You are not too old. You are not too broken. You are not too far behind. In fact, you're right on time, my time, and my timing is perfect. Not always comfortable, not always predictable, but always perfect. Child, this moment, this in-between is holy ground, because in this space, I do my deepest work. I whisper new dreams. I breathe fresh wind into your weary lungs. I awaken parts of your soul that had grown numb. This is the season where hope is born again, not the flashy kind, but the sacred, rooted kind, the kind that can stand through another storm, the kind that sings even in the waiting, the kind that knows I am good even when the path is unclear. You thought you needed answers to move forward, but what you really needed was presence, my presence. And I am here, right here in the rubble, right here in the restart, right here as you take shaky steps toward what's next. I won't push you. I won't rush you. I'll walk at your pace, hand in hand, heart to heart. And as you begin again, yes, again, you'll realize something beautiful. You are stronger now, not because life has been easy, but because you've learned to lean on me. You've discovered that rock bottom isn't the end. It's the place where foundations are laid. You've discovered that silence isn't abandonment. It's where you learn to hear my voice. You've discovered that endings aren't death. They are doorways. And now, child, a new door is opening. Not just a door to new circumstances, but a door into deeper faith, deeper peace, deeper identity. You won't have to force it. You won't have to prove anything. You'll simply walk forward with joy, with wisdom, with me. The tears you've cried will water the soil. The pain you've carried will become compassion. The battles you've fought will become strength for others. The waiting will become worship, because nothing has been wasted. And this right here is your new beginning. Not a second chance, but a divine unfolding. Not a desperate restart, but a sacred release. Let go of what no longer fits. Lay down what was never yours to carry. Bless what was, and step into what is. I am with you. I go before you. And what's ahead? It is full of goodness, not because life is perfect, but because I am. So take courage, beloved. The story isn't over. The best pages are still being written, and your heart is not too late for joy. Trust me, this is not the end. It's only just begun. If your soul is ready for this new beginning, comment below. I'm ready for what you're writing next, Lord. Let this be your prayer, your surrender, and your sacred agreement with heaven. My dear one, if these words have met you in the middle of your waiting, your healing, your becoming, know this: it wasn't an accident. Heaven saw you. Heaven responded. Heaven whispered through every line. You are not alone. Your story is not over. Your spirit is not forgotten, and your heart is still so deeply loved by the one who never changes. So as you close this message and return to the rhythm of your day, carry this truth with you. God is still writing. God is still near, and the best is still unfolding. If your soul receives something today, leave a comment below and simply say, Amen. Let it be your echo to heaven and your anchor on earth. You are held, you are guided, and you are infinitely loved. Until next, time rest in his voice. It is always speaking. My beloved child, I know you've been wondering if I'm really listening to your prayers. It might feel like your heartfelt pleas are just vanishing into thin air, going unanswered, lost in the noise of life. You've been navigating stormy seas, trying to stay afloat while wondering if I still hear you. Let me tell you I do. Even when you don't feel it, even when all you hear is silence, I am listening, I am responding. You think your prayers are delayed, but I'm working behind the scenes in ways your eyes cannot yet see. Every tear you've cried in secret I've gathered. Every sigh you've released in exhaustion I've heard. You've been holding on with trembling hands, wondering if I'll come through. Child, I'm not just planning to come through, I already am. I know how hard it is to walk without clarity. You keep asking for the full picture, but I only give you the next step. That's not because I'm hiding something from you, it's because I'm building something in you. I'm not just leading you to a destination. I'm shaping your character. I'm teaching you how to trust me more than your understanding. And I know that's not always easy, but I see you. I see how you keep showing up. I see how you keep choosing love, even when your heart feels raw. I see the silent courage behind your quiet obedience. What you call uncertainty, I call holy ground. It's where we walk closest. It's where I speak most tenderly. And when you can't see the way forward, just reach for me, I am your way. You've been carrying so much. You try to be strong, to hold it all together, to stay steady for everyone else. But child, you were never meant to carry all that weight alone. Lay it down. Let me hold it with you. You don't have to earn my help. I delight in being your strength. You keep asking, when will I feel whole again? You thought healing would be quick, simple, final, but healing comes in waves. I am not rushing you. I am healing you in layers, tenderly and deeply. Some days you'll feel like you're moving backward. Those are the days I'm doing my most sacred work. So if old wounds resurface, don't panic. It doesn't mean you're failing. It means you're ready to go deeper. You are not a project I'm trying to fix. You are my child I'm restoring. And hear me clearly, I have not changed my mind about you. Not once. Not even on your worst day. Your mistake don't surprise me. Your detours don't scare me. Nothing you've done has made me love you less. I still see the calling I placed in you. I still see the light in your eyes. I still see the purpose pulsing in your spirit. I have not revoked a single promise. My love is not performance-based. It's covenant-based. I chose you then. I choose you now. And I will keep choosing you. Child, you are becoming who I always saw when I first dreamed you into being. Not someone new, but someone free. Free from fear. Free from shame. Free from the pressure to be perfect. Every scar, every stumble, every season you thought disqualified you, I'm using all of it to form someone radiant. You may not see it yet, but you're standing in the middle of a holy transformation. Even in the moments that feel like failure, even when the path is unclear, even when you feel like giving up, I am still working, and I will finish what I started in you. I don't give up halfway. I don't quit when things get hard. I don't abandon the ones I love. What I began in you, I will complete. And when you can't carry the process anymore, I will carry you. Your timeline is not my timeline, but my timing is perfect. You are not late. You are right on time for what I've designed. This is not the end. This is the beginning. What feels like a dead end is actually the door. What feels like loss is making room for new life. The dream isn't dead, it's being redefined. So, take a deep breath. Let the pressure go. Let the striving stop. You don't have to fix everything. You don't have to know everything. You don't even have to feel strong. You just have to stay close. Let me be your guide. Let me be your peace. Let me be your reminder every single day that you are not forgotten, that you are not too far gone, that you are still becoming, and that I am not done. I am not finished. I'm just getting started. And the best pages of your story, they haven't even been turned yet. So take my hand and let's begin again. If these words became your prayer today, leave a comment below and say, Amen. Let it be your quiet agreement with heaven and a whisper of trust from your heart to mine. Before you go, pause for just a moment. Let everything you've read settle deep into your heart, not as words from a page, but as a personal letter written just for you from the one who's never stopped loving you. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not too late for grace, for healing, for joy. God is still speaking, still guiding, still writing something beautiful with your life. If your heart felt seen here, if something inside you breathed a little easier, leave a comment below and simply say, Amen. And let it be your quiet agreement with heaven, your soft, sacred yes to the next chapter. You are deeply loved. Stay close to the voice that calls you beloved, again and again and again. Until we meet here again, rest in that truth.